The Yakuza series is one of the best out there, and that's due in part to its adorable protagonist Kiryu. The Judgment spin-off series, including the recently released and very enjoyable Lost Judgment, is also brilliant, but there's something not quite right about it. A big part of that is down to the substandard protagonist, Takayuki Yagami. Today, I'm going to explain why he's not up to snuff. So grab your gaudiest jacket, gel your hair up into a spike, and let's talk douchebag. Right, let's deal with the biggest problems first. The issue with Yagami is all down to Johnny's. No, I'm not saying that the characters of Judgment like to have a bit of unprotected coitus or anything like that. I'm talking about the agency who holds the reins of actor Takuya Kimura, the voice and face of the Private Eye protagonist. Any PC gamers wanting to jump into Judgment or Lost Judgment? Well, you can't because it's not available. Why? Because Johnnies were worried that people might take Yagami's character model and do horrendous things with it, like turn him into a furry or animating him getting bummed by Kaito or something like that. Now, I'd be up for that, but I suppose they worried that someone might see those obviously faked images and say, I quite like the look of that Takuya Kimura. Do you think he'd be good for this role? Nah, we can't hire him. I saw him getting bummed on camera while dressed as Tony the Tiger last week. You know what, Johnnies, I get it. It's totally understandable. I'd never let my kids play Final Fantasy VII after seeing what Tifa got up to in that Italian conference. So as a result of this Tony the Tiger based bumming fear, millions of players are denied the chance to enjoy two excellent games. Now another consequence of Johnny's and this attitude they have is reflected in the character himself. Kiryu, bless him, is one of the most sincere characters ever. His stern face and unwavering determination really add to the impactful moments and also make the moments where he's acting as a bodyguard for Michael Jackson or accidentally delivering used panties to perverts absolutely hilarious. Kiryu is often the butt of the joke and can be made fun of. Yagami, on the other hand, is never the butt of the joke. He's always the omniscient protagonist, stopping just short of turning towards the camera and rolling his eyes when encountering deviants like Ass Ketchum, the man who squeezes women's asses and tells them what sport they should do, or Giant Impact, the hulking muscle-bound pensioner with an abnormally large penis. It's just not as fun as when Kiryu is faced with the same kind of situation. You'd never see Yagami forced into a nappy by a bunch of burly Yakuzas like what happened to Ichiban in Like a Dragon. Also, everybody he meets tells him how handsome and amazing he is. Seriously, it's like my everyday life. Richard, you're so attractive. Richard, you're so clever. Richard, what are you doing in my backyard at 3 AM? I play games for escapism, you morons. So far, everything we've discussed just makes Yagami a little bland, a bit inoffensive, like a Ryvita. However, there is a darker side to Yagami we haven't got to yet. In both Judgment and Lost Judgment, there are a number of girlfriends available to the protagonist who are won over by being given gifts, taken on dates, and eventually by rescuing them from a stalker or a Japanese man dressed as a Victorian gentleman or whatever, the usual. Personally, I met my wife when she was kidnapped by an obese man dressed as Chun-Li. Nothing dramatic, I just kicked him in the grundle with my winkle picker and went on my way. We were married 8 hours later. Beautiful ceremony. Anyway, Yagami's seduction technique involves text messaging and chatting with his potential conquests on dates, and maybe it was just me, but I got serious to Catch a Predator vibes. When the 55-year-old balding nonce sends messages trying to make himself sound like a 12-year-old. In the first game, one of Yagami's girlfriends is called Sana Mihama. She's a 19-year-old singer-songwriter whose naivety is preyed upon by some of the seedier characters of Kamurocho. Yagami is 35 at that point, and, as previously discussed, quite a serious character. However, when he texts Sana, all of a sudden it's, "Oh, you go, Sana-chan!" or, "Sana, you bring such joy to the world!" complete with teenage girl emojis. It just doesn't sit right. And whilst it doesn't make him a nonce, it does make him a creep. And you can add to that you can be on the job with 4 girlfriends at once, and suddenly you realise that Yagami might not be the nicest man in the world. Now, rumours are circulating that Yagami might be written out of the series due to the pricks at Johnny's, Well, here's a free one for you, Sega. I've got for you the perfect and most dignified way to write Yagami out of the series. Here we go. Yagami gets kicked to death by all the women he's messed about with on the sly over the 2 games he was in before being put into a Tony the Tiger costume and thrown into the sea. Boom. Now let's move on. So there you have it, why I think Yagami is a bit of a crap protagonist. But what do you think? Have I been a bit harsh on him? Do you think he's actually super handsome and talented and amazing and I should offer a full apology and shave my head bald? Let me know in the comments. Also, I'm planning to do a video on Lost Judgment's brand new DLC, The Kaito Files, very soon, so keep an eye out for that. Bye bye!